by suggesting that more than likely is going to be Anthony Wayne that would be playing the winner of this one next week out at Northview. As the ball out of play immediately. Erica Kimple said they want to play a 4-3-3. She really stressed to her girls this week that it's about taking shots when they become available. The quote she kept saying to them was, you don't know how many shots you're going to get, so you might as well take the ones that you have at your feet. So she's really stressing to her girls when the offensive opportunities present themselves, go after them.
And that was one thing that both of these teams really struggled with in their last matchup, was maybe taking an extra pass and taking themselves out of position to shoot the ball. So that's going to be one thing. Look for a change in that here today.
Well, you're right. Erica Kimple said in the post-match interview with Kevin Peel, basically she felt like they were a little too unselfish the last time out. She'd like to see that change here this afternoon. The early pleasantries of deciding back and forth how we want to go ahead and attack. Steve Mortimer said that his starting lineup has been very fluid. Again, we said he started Veronica Florek in goal, Marissa Longenecker, Faith Hamilton, Elise Dodson, Chloe Mayette, Paige Koback, Emily Russell, Chloe Miller, Kalea Taylor, McKenna Walker, and Leah Swiller get the start for the Blue Devils. We mentioned Karina Wiseman Esparza, 26 saves on the season in goal for Bowling Green. Maddie Adams, Sydney Moss, Emma Walker, Lane Fry, Sarah Konechny, Lola Thompson, Elsa Concannon, Macy Ash, Maddie Odell, and Peyton Bosworth on the pitch to begin this contest for Bowling Green. That ball tried to be cleared and went off a Bobcat. So a throw-in coming up here for Springfield. And you said it already, Brandon. I think we're seeing a very tentative process from both of these teams. They don't want to make a mistake too early. I know Steve Mortimer stressed a fast start. He felt his girls start off too slow and then build their way up. He said we can't concede any early goals, and maybe that's playing a little bit into the strategy here for Springfield.
And of course, this one of the very first games in the postseason, and postseason for soccer is so much different, where you could end in that regular season tie all year long, and now in the postseason you must have a winner to advance. So things a little bit different in an approach to a postseason game versus a regular season game.
That ball hopped the fence. So far, the last few minutes being spent in the Springfield end. A turnover there, but Bowling Green trying to find some space up front, see if they could slip one of those attacking midfielders through. Another throw-in for the Bobcats. Perhaps a chance here for Springfield. Emily Russell just punted it out of bounds. Throwing back for the Bobcats, that right back out. So a throw-in here for Springfield. That's Paige Koback. And yes, she is a part of those Kobacks. Ball headed forward to the toe of Mayette. She scored that opening goal. Now up ahead for Taylor. Ball back to Swiller. She was dispossessed, and Bowling Green on the counter. Good tackle there by Mayette. The leading pass ahead for Longenecker. She could not control it before it went through the end line. Goal kick coming up for Wiseman Esparza. Wiseman Esparza, as Brandon said, some terrific saves throughout the season. She really was dominant in the second half, as was Veronica Florek in that second half between these two teams a week ago. Koback trying to fight for possession. She's able to touch it up ahead to Longenecker. She's double teamed along the sideline, able to find space through. The through ball right to the hands of Wiseman Esparza. Good thought, just no one home to connect at the other end.
And one of the things that I'm going to be watching for as we get into play here is for Bowling Green, Macy Ash. All League NLL awards came out today. Macy Ash, the only player from either team that was selected to be a first teamer. So it's going to be interesting to see how she plays midfielder for Bowling Green and what she can bring to this postseason matchup.
Macy Ash 6 assists. She was called the setup player for Erica Kimple's group. Mayette tried to sneak one past, clearance from that back line. Looked like it was Emma Walker who knocked the ball out. Kobach with the throw in. Unfortunately, Walker could not keep possession. So we saw a few minutes at the Springfield end, now a few minutes down in the Bowling Green end of things, as Wiseman Esparza boots one away. Dodson giving chase, able to clear it towards the wide side of the field and out of play. Was Swiller who just punted it downfield there. Wiseman Esparza elects to pick up the ball. Taking her time, being a little strategic on where she boots this ball away. Springfield pushing a little forward. Maybe trying to claim an early goal. Longenecker fed the ball up ahead for Walker, but could not connect with her. Swiller knocked the ball away. Now Bowling Green right to the foot of Dodson. She tries a long pass in. Longenecker giving chase and out of play. Springfield, at least it feels like Brandon has turned up the aggression a little bit over the last few minutes.
I think you saw opening sequences where Springfield had the ball for a little bit and then Bowling Green had the ball at their end for a little bit, and that was a good process for both teams to be able to feel each other out. But since that, you've seen Springfield take an advantage here.
A little bit of a gathering in front of the Bowling Green goal, but booted away as McKenna Walker gives chase. You heard the crowd gasp as Taylor kicked it off the head of Sarah Konechny. She seemed to be okay. But if you weren't awake before the match started, I'm sure she is now. Kobach to throw in. Ball centered towards the middle, then knocked away. Picked up by Mayette. The feed, but blocked the shot of Longenecker, and then that feed will go through the end line. Longenecker looked like she may have had a little bit of space, but a terrific job by Elsa Concannon to get in front of the shot, knock it away. Looks like Chloe Higgins is coming on for Bowling Green. Erica Kimple told me beforehand she really doesn't feel like that 5-9-2 record that Bowling Green has represents how good her team is. She said she really feels like they've come along. Here's Mayette on a run. Centering pass was blocked and knocked out of play. Mayette has been very active from her forward position, trying to figure out a way to get a run at goal. We'll have a corner coming up. Looks like Faith Hamilton's going to take it from the far corner. Kick into the middle. Missed the head of Longenecker and then out of play.
And a beautiful corner kick that time. Just a little long on the backside. Didn't have enough players in the area, but a really good first look at a corner from Springfield.
Another centering pass. The header missed. Mayette in the middle, as is Taylor. Ball out to the far side. Able to be saved along that Bowling Green sideline, and then a dispossession out for a throw-in. Springfield has not had a lot of challenges so far. The first 2 or 3 minutes of the ball game were spent in the Springfield end, but never a real threat that Veronica Florek had to knock away or save. Wiseman Esparza at the other end has been tested a bit more. That ball a long through for Mayette. Can she win the race? Wiseman Esparza there for the Gather. Springfield trying to fulfill their wishes of their head coach, Steve Mortimer, who wanted a fast start. It was the Bobcats who got the fast start, if you're just joining us a week or so ago, in that 1-1 draw down at Bowling Green. Sydney Moss able to knock home the first goal in just the 4th minute of that last contest, and then Chloe Mayette tied it up in the 23rd minute of the first half, and then no scoring after. Longenecker tried to win the chase, had it knocked away. Ball found the foot of Taylor. That's a turnover picked up by Fry. Swiller back. And then up ahead for Longenecker. Ball out of bounds from the pass from McKenna Walker. No substitutions yet for Springfield, although it looks like Callie Garrow is warming up. The throw-in attempted to Lola Thompson, but knocked away. A throw-in for Koback. Into Walker. Walker back to Koback. Walker tried to lob one through the middle, but mistimed it. Picked up by Wiseman Esparza for a goal kick. Here comes Callie Garrow. Comes in for Marissa Longenecker. Garrow's the first substitution for Steve Mortimer this evening. Almost 13 minutes home in this first half. A long pass up ahead for Moss. Nice pass back the other way, but Garrow not able to run it down. Throw in here on the near side for the Bobcats. It's Adams in the center, dispossessed by Hamilton. Out to the far side to Taylor. Taylor lost possession. And we're going to have a foul. Ball going the other way for Bowling Green. Much of this first half, the first 14 minutes or so, have been played largely in the Bowling Green end. Springfield has been very aggressive offensively. Every time the Bobcats have tried to get some form of run going, the back line for the Blue Devils has done a nice job. Swiller up ahead to Taylor, and then knocked away, and then a foul.
Come on, you gotta let him play.
I'm going to say Taylor for the foul there, which looked like it may have been more of an offense the other way on Bowling Green. Free kick there for Fry. Dodson tried to clear. Got it to Taylor. She missed on the header. Able to push it back ahead to Mayette, though. Mayette's touch pass didn't find a Blue Devil. But Taylor doing a nice job on that far wing. Ball into the middle of the field as Moss, the first to touch. Ball over to Garrow for Springfield. Garrow had the ball knocked away by Ava Werdebaugh. Koback's throw in Wurdebaugh headed it away for Bowling Green. Swiller using every inch of that frame, just couldn't slow down the ball enough. Picked up by Adams. Adams tried to find Moss as she was running towards the Bowling Green sideline. Bobcats kept possession though. Quickly, as the attacking chance came, ball back out of play the other way for Springfield. Bowling Green though with the throw-in.
And now after Springfield was able to keep the ball in possession for a long time, we've seen more of a back and forth battle inside that center third for quite a while now.
Well, and it speaks to what we talked about before this broadcast, which is these two teams, I think, still trying to figure each other out. Obviously, when you have a 1-1 draw, as I said, you don't really know what to expect. I know both coaches tried to spin it positively to me beforehand, saying, listen, we know we're close to breaking through. We know we played well. We're just a play here or there away as Wiseman Esparza dives for the ball. Springfield fans didn't like the call on Garrow. But getting back to my point, when you have teams that are so evenly matched, a lot of a game of this nature is going to be played more towards center field. Nice touch by Swiller, back over her shoulder. Mayette trying to chase it down. Garrow is going to give it chase for Springfield. Can she get to the line? No, she cannot. Another substitution. Riley Kaywood checks in for Springfield. She'll give Kalia Taylor a break. Taylor very active on that far wing. Let's see if Kaywood can do the same. Throwing into the middle, the touchback to Kobach. Kobach trying to get to that left corner. Ball knocked out for another throw-in. Kobach to Mayette. Swiller. Not sure where that was intended to go, but it'll go out of play. BG wasting no time, although a turnover right to Kaywood. Springfield has done a nice job of bracketing the middle of the field as Garrow had her pass blocked, able to get possession back. The nice touch pass up ahead to Walker. Walker at the through and off the side of the net. Wasn't sure if she was going to try and pass it to a charging Mayette. Tried to see if she could sneak one in off the left post and hit the side of the net. Almost midway through this first half. The sun hides behind the clouds here at Springfield momentarily. It's been an Indian summer throughout much of the fall here in Northwest Ohio, and a great night here at Springfield weather-wise. You couldn't ask for anything better if you're either one of these coaches.
And this may be one of the last nights of the season that these two teams do have
That's
spring-style
correct.
weather.
You might see sleeves the next time one of these two teams plays next Monday. Again, the winner will play the winner of Whitmer and Anthony Wayne out at Northview on Monday. Part of a doubleheader in that Sylvania district. How about the job Lori Williams has done again at Anthony Wayne? I believe I read 5th straight conference championship for the Generals. Obviously a state runner-up back in 2019, and a lot of folks think they're capable of doing that again. Steve Mortimer told me he thinks the NLL is the best girls soccer conference in the entire state of Ohio. He said any night we're playing a team that's capable of making a run in the state playoffs. So he really feels like they've been tested much throughout the year. Swiller's ball was parried back towards the Bowling Green sideline and out of play for a throw-in. Kaywood's throw knocked right out once more. She'll attempt it again. Ball to the foot of Mayette. Mayette trying to split through two defenders. The touch pass over to Garrow. Garrow stops and cuts back towards the center. Had her shot blocked. Swiller with a ball through, but out of play. Goal kick coming up here for Wiseman Esparza. Marissa Longenecker will check back in. She will spell Leah Swiller. She gets a round of applause heading back here to the near sideline. Goal kick to the far side. Picked up by Hamilton, and she just knocks it out of play. Give the Blue Devils credit. They have been the more aggressive team offensively, and anytime, as I said, that Bowling Green tries to get a run going, it seems like they just, meaning Springfield, cuts off the attack at the pass and makes the Bobcats start over quite a bit. That ball knocked out of play once again. The throw into Mayette, missed her. Took a hop off the turf, and the kick back to Wiseman Esparza. Those passes in the back third, always a little dangerous from goal. If you don't find the intended target, it could result in an easy goal. The touch away by Walker, the long pass up ahead. Garrow giving chase. And it'll be a throw in for Bowling Green.
And that back line for Springfield has done a really nice job here early on. Miller and Dodson especially, just nice job at redirecting the ball. Anytime that the ball has come back to that back line, they've quickly played it the other direction, and that's why Springfield's had the ball for as long as they have in this match.
Foul called on Bowling Green, so a free kick coming up for the Blue Devils. And Veronica Floric has had a lot of time to maybe catch up on homework back there throughout much of the first half. Kobach, the pass up ahead for Walker. That shot wide. Surprised they didn't maybe try and have Mayette rush the net and see if they could find something more in the middle of the field. Wiseman Esparza, a low line drive. Sydney Moss, one of the few times she's touched the ball, the leading goal scorer for these Bobcats. 10 goals on the season, and as you said, Brandon, Dodson right there to start the attack in the other direction. The theatricality on that save by Wiseman Esparza was a little humorous there. Kaywood on that far side. Ball picked up by Chloe Miller. Things just not connecting for Bowling Green on any kind of run, although maybe there is one here. So much for that as Dodson knocked it away. However, Moss picked up possession. Ball is free in the middle of the field and cleared away by that Blue Devil back line, out of play for a throw-in. Substitution. I thought a substitution was upcoming. Oh, there is. Swiller is coming back in, replacing McKenna Walker. Kobach throws into Garrow, over to Mayette. Garrow tried to touch it back to Mayette, could not do so. That time ball funneled to the middle of the field. A long pass up ahead. Dodson beat Moss to the ball. Mayette with the through, but Wiseman Esparza right there. The good long pass up ahead by Dodson.
A lot of power in the right foot.
Well, if we were picking a woman of the match so far, it's hard to look past Elise Dodson. She is really, as you said, Brandon, been somebody who has been very active and very aggressive on that back line and has helped Springfield keep possession throughout much of this first half. That ball goes over the fence. Kalia Taylor back in. Kaywood will come off the pitch. Haywood with some good minutes in relief of Taylor. The goal kick to the far side. Knocked out of play for a Springfield throw-in. Russell. She'll take another crack at it. Now they're going to say it was last touched by Springfield, so a throw-in for Bowling Green. Their team really doing a great job possessing the ball on that far side right now. Just parried back and forth here in the middle of the field.
A constant possession battle.
Again, I think we would both agree that the Blue Devils have had it much of the half, but trying to set up any kind of run at an attack has been challenging, to say the least. That one nearly a mental mistake by the back line of Bowling Green, as Taylor was ready to pounce if that ball caromed off the gloves of Wiseman Esparza.
And when you talk about the evenness of the two teams, we mentioned the NL awards earlier. Wiseman Esparza, the second team keeper, and Floric, the third team keeper. So the evenness doesn't just stop in the middle of the pitch, it's all the way around.
Dodson gave chase. That was trying to shield the ball away from Sydney Moss, I believe. Throwing up coming for Bowling Green. And ball knocked away by Swiller further down for another BG throw-in. Wurtebah tried to find Moss. I think she misread which way her striker was going to go. Wurtebah right back to Moss in the middle. Moss the feed, but there's Dodson for another poke away. Strike that was Emily Russell with the knock out of bounds. Swiller missed the carom, but there's Taylor to pick up the loose ball. Taylor challenged by Maddie Adams. Ball up ahead to Mayette for Springfield. Mayette on her breakaway. Mayette, nice save by Wiseman Esparza. Little bit of a risky move to come that far out of goal, but she was able to grab the loose ball and save what could have been the first blood here in this game. Swiller, a little bit of a knock from behind by Adams. Ball back to Wurtebah. Taylor with a little pressure. No one there, and a foul called. And a free kick upcoming here for Bowling Green.
And one of the things that we talked about before near the top of the broadcast was the speed out of the Springfield forward line. And that's really shown. It's created Bowling Green. They've been a little slow on their passes throughout the first portion of our match here on that back line. And Springfield has really pressed them and forced the issue with those passes.
Throw-in coming here. Strike that a corner coming up for Springfield. Wurtebah and Garrow were giving chase into this near corner. Officials say it went through the end line and last touch by Bowling Green. Koback to attempt the corner. Ball into the middle, knocked away by Wiseman Esparza. Russell trying to beat to the chase from Thompson. Longenecker on that far side as well. Ball out once again. As Brandon said, a possession battle for much of this half, as we're less than 10 minutes to play in this opening half. Still no score. Although a chance here. That shot pushed wide.
And I believe Elise Dodson got a piece of it once again.
It was a good attempt by Kester. She has 4 goals and 3 assists on the season. But it will be a corner for Bowling Green. You were right, Dodson with a piece of it. First real attempt here for the Bobcats on the offensive end this evening. Ball funneled to the middle. That has a chance in front of the net. Shot was blocked. Ball still sitting precariously in front of that net. Springfield unable to clear. They finally poke it free. And now maybe a rush chance here for Springfield. Mayette dispossessed near midfield. Taylor tried to gain possession back for Springfield. But that ball sent tantalizingly close to the Blue Devil goal. And Bowling Green unable to get a clean shot off.
And the box looked like a foosball table
really
there
did.
for about 15 to 20 seconds.
Well, if the object of the game was to kick it off your opponent's shins as many times as possible, Bowling Green would have had a very successful trip. Unfortunately, unable to find any real chance. Ball went past Taylor for Springfield as Odell was giving chase for Bowling Green. Moss back to Odell. Taylor looked like it went off the knee, and Odell in a little bit of pain as it looked like Taylor may have connected with her knee as much as she did the ball. Kobach's throw into Mayette, able to find the way through somehow. Taylor back to Swiller. Swiller had the ball knocked away by Moss, but Dodson to save the day once again for Bowling Green. Also, Chloe Miller back there.
And those opportunities like the one we saw just a couple of moments ago from Bowling Green, if this game trends the way that it has here in the first half, those opportunities are going to be really important because as you've talked about, Springfield has had the ball for a larger portion of half number 1 than Bowling Green. So when you make it down to that other end, you got to make sure you're putting yourself in the best position to capitalize on that opportunity.
Well, and sort of echoing what Erica Kimple said is you kind of highlighted. Again, you don't know how many shots you'll get this game. Don't pass up the ones that you can take and don't miss out on scoring opportunities. I think both coaches, and that sounds easy to say, but I think both coaches stressing when you have an opportunity, we have to bury him in the back of the net. Mayette couldn't win the chase. Maybe a shot here from the toe of Walker, but it went wide. Steve Mortimer, I think, may have preferred McKenna Walker to blast one from about 15 yards out and just see if she could make something out of nothing instead of trying to be too fine there in the corner. Walker headed the ball forward. Swiller back to her. Kobach, the touch up ahead. She's able to find space. Kobach on the left flank. A nice ball fake. Still with possession, then a nice clearance from that back line of Bowling Green. Walker picks it up. And the ball knocked out of play by Odell. Kobach to Walker. The header up to nobody. And a goal kick for Wiseman Esparza. Interesting note for this Bowling Green team. They were the first athletic team at Bowling Green High School to play on the new turf down at Bobcat Stadium this year. That was a 3-2 win over Wapakoneta. So if there's something to be known for, at least there's that. Obviously, they'd like to advance to the second round of the playoffs. Kester, the ball up ahead for Thompson, but knocked away by Dodson once again.
and really good awareness from Dodson. It's been really impressive in the back. Just as much as she's had a role in that back line, a good example there, just pushed it out of bounds. Sometimes we've seen her try to turn it back forward, but a smart play there, knowing that she had to just play it out.
A shot from about 15 was saved by Floric, the first time she's really been challenged here tonight. Came from the toe of Lola Thompson. Kaywood trying to chase the loose ball down. Picked up first by Ava Werdebaugh. Substitution here after the foul, or the throw-in coming up for Odell. Callie Garrow back on. Chloe Mayette will get a breather. She has played all but these last 4 minutes of this half. Werdebaugh misses the header. Garrow sneaks through. Garrow, though, blocked, and the ball will roll behind for a goal kick. Good effort by Callie Garrow, just not enough space to operate. And a good job by that BG back line. Kovac up ahead to Kaywood. And then a foul on Springfield. Officials say that's a little too far up. Fry to take the free kick. Fry boots it up ahead. Moss, the touch pass up ahead to Adams. Bosworth for Bowling Green tried to create some kind of attack. Swiller finally picks up possession for Springfield. The touch pass back to Miller. She clears it up ahead. It's Longenecker on that far side, but ball will roll out of play. Closing in on 2 to play in this opening half. No one has been able to put one in the back of the net just yet. Dodson just shuttles that ball back forward. Swiller with the touch. Garrow back to Swiller. Swiller trying to make something happen there, but not the best attempt. Wiseman Esparza not challenged. 90 seconds left in the opening half. Evenly matched as we predicted. The possession game has ruled much of the play here. Although Springfield has had a few more opportunities than Bowling Green. Bowling Green really just the one opportunity on that corner about 5 minutes ago. Russell's throw-in, tried to find Longenecker. Ball just knocked out on that far side. Russell to throw in again. Found Garrow. And Garrow's pass went out of bounds behind that end line. Final 20 seconds in the opening 40 minutes. Bowling Green to Odell. And that is the way the first half ends. neither team able to put one home, Brandon, and when you assess what we thought was going to happen, it's exactly that. 0-0 at the break.
Yeah, I mean, we saw periods where Springfield was more dominant. They opened back and forth, and then we saw some time where they were consistently in the center third, battle back and forth for possession. You mentioned really the only look for Bowling Green coming on that corner, but it's been really good play from Wiseman Esparza down here in goal for Bowling Green, and that's what's kept Bowling Green where they're at in this game, 0-0 going into the half. So it's going to be interesting to see what we see in half number 2. We've seen now 1 game and a half where these teams have been even. So it's still about who's going to make that adjustment quicker and get that leg up. It only takes one opportunity to score a goal. So we'll see what happens in the second half, but we're going to go to the break tied.
Scoreless draw here at the break. We'll step aside. Bowling Green and Springfield knotted at 0. Back after this. Second half getting ready to begin. Again, a scoreless draw at the end of the first half. And Brandon, when you look at this game, again, just what we expected coming into the beginning.
Yeah, right from the start. I mean, we talked about how it was going to be back and forth, how that first matchup was back and forth just a week ago. And going back to that, anytime you get to see a team twice in a period of 7 days, there's not really that you get to work on your team at practice. You don't get a whole lot of time to advance your play, improve upon things. It's more or less how can we make an adjustment to the other team. And I think from what we've seen in the first half, it looks like both teams are still trying to figure that out. Very back and forth first half. Really good play by Karina Wiseman Esparza for Bowling Green. And then on the other side, that back line with Elise Dodson and Chloe Miller. They haven't really let a whole lot by. So, I mean, it's been 2 different playing styles, but the result has been the same through half number 1.
Well, if you were to give a slight edge to anybody, I think we'd give it to Springfield just because they had possession, maybe 60-40, if you will, in that first half. But again, really, their scoring chances, as you said, Wiseman Esparza was able to parry any real serious threats, but there weren't even really many of those. There were a lot of through balls that went out of bounds. Really, maybe the best shot we saw all half was from McKenna Walker as she tried to go to that left post and couldn't sneak it by. But really, other than that, there hasn't been a whole lot of even real scoring chances for either team. Again, we mentioned right before the break that corner that kind of settled in the middle right about 5 yards from the goal, but Bowling Green unable to put that home as well. Taylor to begin the half for Springfield. Will the last 40 minutes be enough to decide this one? If any indication from the game and a half that we've seen these two teams play so far, it may not be. Longenecker on that far side for Springfield. Ball knocked back. Miller giving chase. Odell trying to press forward. Ball out of play. Throw in here for Russell. Russell overthrew Mayette. She did not play the last 4 minutes or so of that first half. See if the late half break and then halftime recharged her batteries a little. Taylor on this far side feeds the ball back to the middle. Russell there, though, to claim the pass. Ball outside to Mayette. She heads towards the corner. And the ball out of play, and we've got a corner kick coming up, I think, here for Springfield. So Kobach jogs to the corner. Her last one wasn't bad that she had midway through that first half, just no one there. Kobach funnels it to the middle. The header, it got by Wiseman Esparza. And it was Faith Hamilton on the header. And the connection between Hamilton and Kobach, well, it took 40 minutes to even really see a real scoring chance. We're just a little over a minute and a half into the second half, and Springfield claims a 1-goal lead.
And you talked about that earlier corner from Kobach. It was just a little bit long, and Springfield didn't have enough players on that side of the net. This time they made the adjustment. It was a little shorter on the corner, and they had the people there that they needed, and Faith Hamilton delivered for Springfield. First goal of the match puts the Blue Devils on top.
So the question becomes, if you're Steve Mortimer, you obviously don't want to stop the aggression. However, with the fact that scoring is at a premium here, do you maybe sit back a little bit more and try and play more of a defensive style here just to try and keep Bowling Green? Again, we've said it already. It's not like Springfield has been challenged a whole lot here so far this evening. Although now, as I say that, Odell making a push forward. That ball to the middle. Dodson parries it away. And then knocked out of play by Swiller. But as I was saying, do you maybe even try and get more defensive if you're Steve Mortimer, knowing you've got a 1-goal lead and knowing that Bowling Green is struggling to score against you even when you're playing normal tactics?
I mean, I think you're at a point, too, where another element of the game changes because Bowling Green finds themselves chasing one now. And every time, no matter what sport it is, that a team feels they're back against a wall, they're going to play a little bit different. There's just a different element to it. It's really hard to explain. But now you see Bowling Green with a little bit more intensity since that goal.
So will it be the intensity, the sense of urgency from Bowling Green that is able to finally crack their way onto the scoreboard? Now, mind you, it was the first half when the flurry of goals came, and I guess if you call to a flurry in that first matchup, perhaps we see it here in the second half. Obviously, Coach Mortimer and staff would feel a lot better if the Blue Devils could punch one more home here. I'm going to say Odell could not save possession for Bowling Green. Ball thrown in up ahead. Back out of play for another throw. Ball into the middle for Taylor, and a foul called and a opportunistic free kick here. Kobach looks like she is going to stand as McKenna Walker takes it, unless they try some trickery here. This one from about 20 yards out. Kobach to that far side and just booted it through the back line. Not as much touch on that one as we saw from the corner kicks. However, Jerry Bell may be taking photographs to see if he can bring her on as a kicker for the football team. That one would have been good from about 40 yards on the football field. Kobach on that far side, able to save it. Ball up ahead to Swiller. Was knocked away. Been a very quiet game for Sydney Moss. She scored that lone goal the last time for Bowling Green, but give Springfield credit, they have done a good job of bracketing her throughout much of this evening. Ball up ahead to Adams. The through ball to Moss. As I say that, Moss fights her way through. The shot, it's good! Sydney Moss strikes. And as if to say, oh yeah, Chris, I'll show you. It's now tied 1-1.
Deja vu from the first half of the first game. Both teams score a goal within the first couple of minutes. And now, just like that, the momentum shifts back the other way. We talked about Bowling Green. They played with more intensity following the Springfield goal. A 2-on-1. They convert on the opportunity, and we are again tied.
Well, as I said, you don't want to sit there and say that Sydney Moss is not going to strike at some point, but she's too good not to score. And that's why I was so impressed by the job that Springfield had done prior to that goal. It looked like she was just a little stronger than Dodson, who we've talked so much about this evening. And that was able to free it up and get her a one-on-one with the keeper. Ball free in front. Taylor tried to funnel a shot through. Wiseman Esparza falls on the loose ball. So just like we saw in game number 1, tied at 1. Moss, a little bit more of a pep in her step after that goal. By the way, that's now 11 goals for Sydney Moss on the season. Here comes Walker on the outside. Over to Swiller. Back outside to Longenecker. Great job defensively by the Bobcats. Up ahead to Adams. Pass was led a bit too far. Back out here on the near side for Mayette. Mayette the touch to Swiller. Up ahead for Walker. Walker on the outside. The shot, Wiseman Esparza. Not a real big threat there.
Interesting for me there, just with the angle to go with a shot instead of trying to pass the ball back toward the middle. You had Taylor stride for stride to the defender, so maybe just one of the instances where they should have gone with a pass there. But again, what both coaches were looking for was their teams to shoot at will, and they've done that.
Well, I will agree with you, though. I think when you're in these moments, there's a fine line between trying to be too cute or too perfect and also just taking a shot but also making the smart play. And I think we've seen a few times where the wings have taken shots for Springfield and they haven't really been serious attempts. And as you said, if you've got someone like Taylor who's got the speed, and we'll see if maybe Mayette learned here and tries to touch it back towards the middle for Taylor. She does to Taylor, and oh, just wide of the right post. And that, I think, is a more realistic scoring opportunity there for Springfield. Those rushes towards the net, funnel it towards the center. Good things happen.
Much better look that time from Springfield, I think, than the one prior. And all it takes is for Kalea Taylor to get the right part of her foot on the ball. I mean, got it with a little bit top on that time, and it went straight in front of her. You could let that ball get a little bit further inside, even just a little bit, and you're able to push that ball further inside. That's a really good look, and it probably ends up in the back of the net.
Yeah, Taylor almost found that top right corner, just wide. But I think we saw perhaps when you've got someone going free towards the net, try and see if you can set up a teammate. But with that said, as I was just saying, there is a fine line between trying to be too perfect and just taking a shot. But I think Steve Mortimer would rather see attempts that are more in front of the net instead of trying to make David Beckham-style goals where they bend it into the top corner.
And another really good opportunity coming up here for Bowling Green off of the free kick.
Ball knocked away. Up ahead to Taylor. Taylor, the pass blocked. Great defensive play because that could have set up an odd rush for Longenecker. But it was that defense on the far side by Concannon who was able to at least knock the pass out and slow down that rush as Garrow on for Taylor. And to your point about the shot from Taylor a few moments ago, one of the coaches for Springfield was talking with her as she came to the sideline about squaring up the ball a little bit better on a pass like that. Perhaps another chance here. As you said, Brandon, the intensity from Bowling Green has picked up since the Springfield goal.
And now you're getting to see a little bit more urgency from Springfield as well. Sort of they had that driver's seat and it was taken away. And that's not a good feeling when it happens. So believe me, they're going to be hungry for goal number 2 as well. While Bowling Green may have the momentum, there's definitely a sense of we want to get back to the lead from Springfield.
Ball out of play, a throw-in coming up here for Bowling Green. Ash tried to funnel that one through and it was knocked away by Dodson. Ball into the middle for Adams. Ball blocked out on that far sideline. Got a substitution coming in for Bowling Green. Looks like it's perhaps Concannon back in. That ball knocked away. Pass made back up ahead by Walker. Blocked back out. Long and Necker into the middle for Mayette. The pass up ahead. Can Garrow outrun Werdebaugh? Wiseman Esparza just parries it away. Did a good job of baiting Garrow in as long as she could before knocking it out. I like the minutes that Callie Garrow has given Springfield. She's been a good job attacking over and over. She's definitely played some good minutes for Coach Mortimer tonight. Longenecker on that left wing. Good job knocking it away by the Bobcat back line. The throw in to Garrow in the middle. Garrow bracketed by defenders. Ball back out to Dodson, who pops it up in front of Longenecker, and I'm going to say that I think it hit off her wrist there. So free kick upcoming for Lane Fry. Fry, the long ball forward. Touch pass up ahead. Ball funneled back towards the middle of the field. Pass up ahead for Mayette. She will give chase. Mayette able to save it on that near sideline. Mayette had it knocked away. Hamilton was there but couldn't save it in the Bowling Green end and keep possession for Springfield, and out of play here for another throw-in. Well, it was Hamilton's header for Springfield that drew first blood early in this half, just a minute and a half into the second half of play. And then not much later, it was Sydney Moss able to fight through some contact and had a free run at goal and able to bury it top shelf. And that's how we're tied at 1. Hamilton up ahead to Garrow. Pops it up to see if Mayette can give chase. Ball headed back towards Wiseman Esparza. Bowling Green able to clear out. And it'll be a Springfield throw-in on the far side. The further down the clock ticks in this half, Brandon, you can definitely tell the nervousness and the anxiety for both sides picks up ever so slightly as we come closer to that end of this half. Now, obviously, we've still got a little over 25 minutes to go, but with no scoring activity, I think both teams said, we've still got 40 minutes to play, but it may be that whoever scores next is the winner.
And I think one of the questions creeping to the forefront here is how many periods of soccer will these two teams actually get to play against
You're
one
absolutely
another?
right. Ball caromed over to Russell. She was dispossessed by Moss. The tap back. Ball headed forward by Kester. Kester and Ash on that far side, and then wisely knocked out of play by Miller. And we've got a substitution for Bowling Green again. Also on this side, Riley Kaywood will check back in for the Blue Devils. Callie Garrow will jog back towards the Blue Devil sideline. Swiller pops that out of play. Dodson parries it for another throw-in.
Watch your backside.
And this is one of those opportunities for Bowling Green as you get deeper and deeper here into your attacking third. There has to be more of a sense of, okay, this is our opportunity to score.
Well, certainly you'd like to try and center it around number 7 if you can. Mayette shuttles it up ahead. Werdebaugh giving chase for Bowling Green. She stumbled just a bit on the turf. However, ball did go out of play. I thought maybe Longenecker could get to the line before it went out. She could not, as Mayette strike that. Russell was able to create an opportunity for a throw-in for the Blue Devils. The throw-in to Swiller. She headed it back for Hamilton, but picked up by Adams. Ball rolls out on that far side. Actually going to have a free kick here for Bowling Green as they called a foul on the Blue Devils. Fry, who's taken most of the free kicks tonight for Erica Kimple's bunch, will do so again. Erica Kimple is a coach with pace setter as well, so she has a year-round job. Also was a player at Start High School during her high school days. Was a first-team All-League player, then played collegiately at Tri-State University. Obviously, Steve Mortimer is a longtime assistant before becoming the head coach here at Springfield. He was at Notre Dame Academy for many years. Longenecker out towards Russell, and unfortunately can't get there for the Blue Devils. A quick throw-in. Finds Thompson. At a stoppage in play as we've got a pair of subs coming in. It's Moss jogging back on, as well as Maddie Odell. Moss, that goal about 5 or so minutes into this second half. That header didn't go in the right direction. Mayette tried to create an opportunity, could not. Walker up ahead, trying to find Riley Kaywood, but the ball goes through the back line and a goal kick. Perhaps a little over 20 minutes left in someone's season. But as Brandon joked a few moments ago, who knows how long we'll be here. They said the reward for winning this game is likely to play Anthony Wayne. They take on Whitmer. But based off of Lori Williams' bunch, it would be a monumental upset, and that may not even be doing it justice if Whitmer were able to win that game. Mayette funnels it towards the middle. Tried to go back to Mayette. Did Hamilton, and then ball away. Koback on that far side, able to steal the possession. The touch, and then she was tripped, and there will be a free kick upcoming here for the Blue Devils.
And one of the things to watch as Springfield tries to mount an attack here is watch the left side of that Bowling Green back line between Lane Fry and Ava Werdebaugh. They've struggled at times, and that's going to be a point where Springfield could potentially gain an advantage.
Russell. That will be picked up by Wiseman Esparza.
And you talk about Lori Williams and Anthony Wayne. How about the decision to late in the year schedule Strongsville and add Strongsville to that schedule just a couple of games before the postseason.
Well, the one thing I've always been impressed with in the time that we've been covering, or at least I've been covering Anthony Wayne soccer, I was able to go and be on the sideline for BCSN when they played in that state championship game. Anthony Wayne is not afraid of competition, and I think that's something that even Steve Mortimer was saying. You know, they scheduled Eastwood. That's a non-conference game for a team that, if anybody read the Blade today, saw that a lot of people think that Eastwood is a possible favorite to win the state title at Division III. So I think at this level, you'd want to know how you stack up against some of those better teams. And again, credit to Lori Williams and a lot of the coaches who are not afraid. A few weeks ago, St. Francis brought St. Ignatius into town to play, and they got their, I guess, lunch handed to them. But nonetheless, Francis Stevens at St. Francis thought, you know what, I want to see how we stack up, and I think it gives you good ideas. We've got a corner upcoming here for Springfield. This was how the Blue Devils scored the last time. Ball into the middle again. That time could not find a Blue Devil, and the ball knocked out of the box.
And that corner more similar to the first one, just
right.
A little bit longer, and that one was even a little bit more off the net. So more of a similar to their first look. The second one was right in front of the net, and that's ultimately why they scored on it.
I'm curious what you think of Steve Mortimer's comment that I said earlier that he feels like the NLL is maybe the best girls soccer league in the entire state.
You know, I've gotten to see a lot of teams play. I haven't gotten the opportunity to call a lot of games. Shot there. Haven't gotten a lot of opportunity to call NLL games, but I've gotten to see a lot of them. I have a younger cousin on Anthony Wayne's team, and of course, me still being a student at Bowling Green, getting a chance to see verbal commits in Elena Unkefer and Bryn Gardner, who was NLL Player of the Year. Just that team and Northview's team, all these teams in the NLL are really, really talented. And I mean, that's why beyond Anthony Wayne, I mean, you see Anthony Wayne and Northview tied at the top, neither a conference loss. Northview with 2 ties and Anthony Wayne with 1 tie. I mean, every team pretty even. The first 2 teams even, and then the rest of the conference pretty even after that. I mean, so that's just a testament to how much competition the NLL does have. And I mean, this year was a prime example of that.
Well, even like Southview, I think they finished 9-4 in the regular season, and were competitive. And this Springfield team was competitive in their match with Southview. And again, you never know on any given night. If you're not careful, there is talent pretty much from top to bottom. Obviously, there are some teams, and we don't need to say records or anything like that maybe aren't quite up to snuff. But when you can go 1 through 8, and you've got 8 teams that on any given night can give you trouble, that certainly spells a lot of competition and how good this league can be. As fans would like to see some kind of foul on Werdebar as she was fighting with Longenecker, and they will finally get it.
And the question may have been when the foul was going to stop. That was a long one. That foul was well earned by Springfield.
So perhaps an opportunity here. We've seen Kobach connect on a corner. Her last free kick was off the mark.
In this situation here, front line got to make sure they don't get offside.
This one more funneled to about 20 yards out, but Moss picks up possession for BG. The through pass is knocked away by Dodson. Odell on that far side tried to push the ball forward, could not, but Bowling Green back in possession. Out of play. A throw in for Fry. Odell on that far side. Shuttled into the middle. Great play by Florick to come out of her position and play that ball up.
And that pass was on target. And as you mentioned, all it took there was for Florick to come up out of her positioning on that line in goal and took the opportunity to score away.
Ball back to Wiseman Esparza. Her long pass up ahead, parried forward by Concannon. Moss the footwork. I'm not able to get past Dodson that time, and she is a little hurt. Gets back up. Perhaps a little bit of gamesmanship there. And a pass forward to Mayette. Mayette brings the ball back towards middle of the pitch. The shot just wide. Not a lot behind it. And a goal kick with 13:30 to go in regulation time. Substitution for Bowling Green. You can see Mayette perhaps a little winded there. Taylor's going to come back on as well. Perhaps get a little more speed on the outside as Kaywood will head back towards the Springfield bench. Wiseman Esparza's goal kick angled towards us. Moss picks it up. Ball up ahead for Kester, but Dodson, who really has sans that one play where Moss scored the tying goal, as we have a foul on that far side and a free kick coming up after Walker was knocked down. But Dodson has played really well on that back line tonight for Springfield. See what kind of touch Kobach has here. Tries to lead Taylor towards the goal. And we'll have a corner coming up here. That was a great pass on the free kick. And that maybe sans the goal, the best free kick of the night we've seen from Kobach. And she'll get a chance from that far corner. Can lightning strike twice in the box for Springfield on a corner? The last time Hamilton knocked it home. This one into the middle. Ball was free, but just missed any Blue Devil. Looked like maybe the person who had a little bit of a touch on it was Wiseman Esparza, and we do have a foul here on the near sideline. Werdebaugh doesn't agree with it. She's not happy with the call, but another opportunity here as time is becoming of the essence here.
And there, right there, is BGSU women's head soccer coach Jimmy Walker. Daughter Emma, center back for the Bowling Green High School team.
Taylor in the middle. Taylor tried to pop one through. Great diving save by Wiseman Esparza. Not a lot behind it, but she did have to range to her right. And that ball will be punted back down the pitch. Dodson heads it forward and then clears it again. Found the toe of Longenecker. Longenecker working against Werdebaugh. Cuts it back inside. Good job by that middle defender, Elsa Concannon, to knock it away. Moss tried to save it for Bowling Green. She could not. Pass could not be settled by Longenecker. The return back up ahead to Taylor. And then Walker pushes it forward. Swiller uses the body to gain possession back on that far side. Pushes the ball through the end line. And it will be a goal kick as we tick inside to 10 minutes in regulation. Unless we see something dramatic here, we could see overtime. Now, not that I'm advocating, because I think we'd love to see a regulation winner, but if we do go to overtime, remember it's a golden goal situation. It's not World Cup rules where they play the full overtime. First goal wins. They will play 2 15-minute overtime periods. If no one scores during those, then we go to penalty kicks. Wiseman Esparza, that far side for Odell. The pass from Ash out to the far side to Odell again. Odell challenged down the side. Ball into the middle though for Adams. Her attempt was knocked away. Moss trying to take over in the later stages. She had the tying goal early in this half. Swiller pushes it forward. Ball hit off the back of Werdebaugh. Possession out to the far wing for Bowling Green. The long pass up ahead for Adams goes out of play, and it's a throw-in for the Blue Devils. Taylor back to Swiller. Back to Taylor. Tried to find a through ball for Longenecker, but good play back there by Lane Fry. We've talked a lot about that back line for Springfield, in particular Dodson and Miller, but we've said Lane Fry's name a lot as well for Bowling Green. Taylor loses possession there. Ball passed back up forward to Longenecker, and then she loses it out of play. Can feel the intensity picking up, or at least the sense of urgency is picking up here. Russell was fighting with Moss. Miller lost control. Here comes Adams. Adams over to Odell. Odell from about 20 yards out, and that's an easy save for Veronica Florek, who really has not been challenged a whole lot this evening.
And one of the things that could improve in that situation for Bowling Green, which I've noticed over the last couple of minutes, is Bowling Green has done a nice job passing the ball, but the problem with their passing it's been to where their teammates are and not where their teammates are headed to.
Good point, not a lot of leading passes to set up plays. Taylor, speaking of trying to set up a teammate, that's exactly what Brandon was talking about. Swiller ran right into Fry, though. Able to free it up over to Walker. Great diving stop by that back defensive line. And then a ball through, and Wiseman Esparza just falls on it. As we're under 7 to play. Can someone punch one in and break this 1-1 draw right now? Again, a golden goal would decide a winner if we head to overtime. And if no one scores there, it may come down to penalty kicks. And Brandon, I don't think I'm saying anything that's too crazy by saying that may end up what happens here. However, it was a great try by Longenecker, just lost possession in the box. And we've got a foul called on Springfield. Been a dandy. We expected it to be close, and that's exactly what we've seen out here in Springfield tonight.
And you know, penalty kicks, not necessarily a bad situation. I mean, you've got two goalies that were touted the highest in the conference.
True.
And what we talked about being such a tough conference, it would really be a test for the shooters to see what everyone brings to the table.
How about Adams? Florek moves from her line, picks up the loose ball. As I said, Florek hasn't been challenged a lot, but the time she has, sans the goal by Moss, she has played well, as has Wiseman Esparza. Steve Mortimer was so proud of the fact that Veronica Florek had 3.5 shutouts. I'm assuming she played half of a game and at least held the team scoreless during her half, as Garrow will check in for Taylor. We also have Werdebaugh coming off as she talks with Erica Kimple. The throw-in from Thompson. The miss there by the back line. Garrow challenging. Good effort by Callie Garrow. Russell fires it back into the attacking third for Springfield, and Wiseman Esparza just lets it roll through that back line. She did a nice job of trying to shield the challenger, Callie Garrow, from Springfield on that far side. Almost 4 minutes to go here in regulation. Do we have a late goal coming up here, or are we headed to overtime? Wiseman Esparza. Bowling Green trying to mount some form of attack. Pressure on that far side by Paige Kobach. Mayette. Here's a run. Can Longenecker finish it? No. Wiseman Esparza had a rebound come free, and Longenecker just couldn't put any real power behind that shot. She rolled it towards Wiseman Esparza, but a beautiful pass from Mayette. Great opportunity to try and set up a teammate. And that was more of what you spoke of earlier, Brandon, which is trying to set up your teammate on a run, and that was a beautiful touch pass from Mayette.
And I bet if you asked Longenecker, she would want that one back. Had the right side of the net wide open and just wasn't able to get the correct footing.
Nearly saw goal number 2 as Kaywood will take the place of Leah Swiller. Kobach the throw-in near midfield. And that right back out of play. Mayette fighting in the middle. Kaywood knocked it free. Longenecker's shot, an easy save for Wiseman Esparza. I like the thought there, though. It was through a few white shirts, perhaps see if Wiseman Esparza gets a little confused and surprise her with the shot. That's one of the better opportunities we've seen from a little bit of distance tonight.
2 minutes left in
So
regulation.
even 2 to go in regulation. Kobach the throw-in. Longenecker, who missed that shot a moment ago. That ball deflected off the body of Odell. Longenecker lost it. Odell on that far side, trying to find the middle of the field. That ball made its way through, but Springfield able to knock it out of play. Good job by Chloe Miller. Miller tried to knock it away. Kaywood created a problem there, at least directed the ball out of bounds. Bowling Green trying to get one last gasped effort here. But Kaywood ahead to Mayette. Mayette with 50 seconds to play. Ahead to Walker. Walker tried to get it back to Mayette, could not. Ball headed back towards midfield. Moss had her pass knocked away. Ball to the middle of the field for Mayette. Mayette trying to make something happen, could not. Adams right to Miller. And we do have a stoppage for injury with 17 ticks left in the half. Doesn't look like it's too serious, but perhaps just hard contact. Looks like McKenna Walker, as she will come off gingerly. Kavea Wirtz will take the place of McKenna Walker, and play will resume again with just 17 seconds to go in regulation. Can Bowling Green string something together here in the late stages of this match? Odell over to Adams, and that will likely do it, as that ball will go out of play. And that is the way regulation ends. Well, 80 minutes wasn't enough to decide it the first time around. Why would it be any different? 1-1 at the end of regulation. We've got overtime coming up next. Again, as I explained, the overtime rules, sudden victory as they call it, or the golden goal, is in effect here. It's the first team to score, regardless of whether it's in these first or second 15 minutes, wins the game. We saw a flurry of goals. Again, for this kind of matchup, a flurry of goals early on in the second half. Will someone be the first to punch one through again? Something to note, McKenna Walker is back on. She came off with 17 seconds to play in the second half. She is back on the field for Steve Mortimer. Someone is going to have their season continue, and someone will not. The question is, when will that opportunity arise? Is a miscommunication between Odell and Werdebaugh. Ball thrown in. Werdebaugh parries one to the middle. Swiller got there. Ball knocked back over to Odell. Swiller dispossesses Odell again. Swiller is one of those players that she's probably not going to have a lot of opportunities to make shots as Mayette, with one that won't curve towards the net and out of play. But I've really been impressed by how scrappy Leah Swiller has been in attack at midfield. Done a nice job of being aggressive, trying to regain possession and set up teammates. So this first session is 15 minutes. Meaning if neither team scores, we'll head to a second overtime session. And if no one has broken the tie by that point, we will head to PKs. Throw in on that far side for Kobach. Adams tried to funnel the ball forward for Kester. Kobach saved the ball from going out of play. Adams tried to find Kester again, could not. Here's an opportunity for Springfield. Ball was knocked away. Dodson giving chase on that far side. Let the ball roll out, and now we'll throw the ball back in. Long throw up ahead. Did not find her intended target, Paige Kobach. But here's Leah Swiller again. Garrow is in attack on that far side, and we've got a foul coming up. There's Callie Garrow. Free kick for the Blue Devils. Kobach nearly set up Kalia Taylor the last time. This one just a short kick up to Russell. Russell, a through ball. There's Garrow. Wiseman Esparza wins the race though. Good thought, great play by Garrow. And that's, I think, what it's going to take, Brandon, is someone who's a little bit more aggressive and uses some ingenuity to try and set themselves up for a scoring chance.
And that's the type of through ball that you want to see played to your forwards.
Longenecker to Swiller. Another through ball. Can Longenecker center it? Longenecker centered it, but it's out of play, and it will be a corner for Springfield. Two terrific passes that have led offensive attackers into the Bowling Green third. Now remember, the first goal of this match in the second half came courtesy of a Paige Kovac corner. Do we have one here again? And no, Wiseman Esparza is right there. Looked like Kovac was trying to go to the far post, and Wiseman Esparza was able to corral it. Give Springfield credit, it was different than how they had attacked from the corner the last 2 times. Every one had been more towards the middle in front of the net. That time they tried to sneak someone in behind Wiseman Esparza. Walker ahead to Garrow. Garrow will give chase again. Wiseman Esparza has to come out and cover. And give Callie Garrow a lot of credit. As I said, I really was thinking she had given Steve Mortimer some good minutes early on. And then in that second half as well in attack. And she's doing so here early in overtime. Dodson pops it up. Kovac. The little touch pass from Swiller to Mayette. Mayette fighting with Lane. And Odell knocks the ball out of play. The throw in missed by Longenecker. She will outrace Wurdebaugh. The ball tried to push it back towards the middle from Longenecker. Bowling Green, I think, got a piece of it. How about Russell coming up from the back line? Her shot at goal. That was more of a threat, I think, than people initially thought. Wiseman Esparza, though, there for the save. Those are the kinds of plays that end up as game winners a lot of the time because you don't expect it. That ball wisely punted out of play. Wurdebaugh to throw in on the near side here for Bowling Green. And that time Odell just lost possession. Wurdebaugh, though, to throw in for the Bobcats once more. Adams, who's been relatively quiet. Ball up ahead as Odell tried to slice her way through 2 defenders. Longenecker able to save the ball from, or excuse me, not able to save the ball from going out of play. Ball into Odell. Russell on her. The centering pass was blocked, and a wise play by Walker to save it. My apologies. But it is a corner here. Shot to the middle, goes wide, and will roll out of play for a goal kick. It was actually Miller who knocked it out of play. I actually thought she was able to save it from going through the back line, but the officials said she didn't.
And Bowling Green had a good look there on the backside. Just couldn't capitalize.
Florek. The free kick up ahead. Mayette tried to get possession. Bowling Green letting it funnel back. Higgins in the middle. Ball up ahead on that far side for Thompson and out of play. Taylor is going to come back in. She will replace Longenecker here on the forward on the near side.
Replacing speed for speed, and watch Taylor on the outside, fresh legs if Springfield can move the ball that way.
Speaking of fresh legs, does Odell have any juice left in him? She able to win the race, but ball was cleared. Swiller gains possession. Touch pass into the middle intended for Adams, knocked away. Mayette able to fend off a defender. Ball knocked out to the far side for Kester. Swiller, the lead pass. Can Mayette run it down? Taylor trying to give chase as well, and wisely played back to Wiseman Esparza, who knocks it out of play. 5.5 to go in this opening overtime period. Should no one score in the next 5.5, we will head to a second overtime. Again, sudden victory in play in the playoffs in the state of Ohio. Taylor on that far side. Ball knocked out, another throw in. Russell to do that. See how Steve Mortimer and company want to play it. The throw in. Mayette with a chance, and then knocked out, and that was very close. If Mayette could have settled that down for a shot, we may have been going home. Hamilton trying to push it up ahead to Swiller. Odell for the Bobcats. The through ball was knocked away, found the foot of Moss. Moss giving chase, and a good job by Dodson to let it go through the back line. And it'll be a goal kick. Excellent play by Elise Dodson, shielding off Moss and saving Veronica Floric for having to try and make a one-on-one stop. Floric angles it towards the near side. Swiller tried to run down possession as Walker and Ash fight for it at midfield. Ball on the far side for Garrow. Ball went out of play. It's a throw in for Springfield. Short rest for Longenecker. She will come on for Swiller. Mayette was fighting for possession for the Blue Devils. As ball out of play on the far side as Kester couldn't chase it down. Moss using her size, trying to gain an advantage for Bowling Green. Kester had it knocked away. Back to the toe of Higgins, though. The whiff on that far side from Longenecker had to be kicked out of bounds to save any kind of rush. Longenecker fighting hard. Ball over to Taylor. Taylor tried to curl it back towards Mayette upfield. Moss fighting for possession with Miller. The long pass up ahead. Mayette with an opportunity here. Mayette lost possession. Good defensive play by Lane Fry. Fry got it over to Odell. Back to the middle. 1:50 to play in this overtime. Mayette just tried to sneak the ball past and couldn't use any of the tools in the toolbox to get past Lane Fry.
And the question at this point really starting to become more of a who has more left in the tank. I mean, even when the ball's just going out of play briefly here, you see players from both sides head down. These players are worn out. We've played a lot of soccer here tonight.
Well, we're almost 95 minutes in and still a 1-1 draw, and I think you said it best watching Mayette, as Mayette has had some odd man rushes, but I think maybe if she had a little bit more left in the tank, we would see perhaps a little bit more of an opportunity from her. Good wall there by Hamilton. Taylor, 38 seconds. Trying to get it up ahead to a charging Swiller on that far side. Ball touched to the middle of the field. Moss with 17 seconds. Could not find Adams. Ball just knocked out of play by Chloe Miller. I don't think Bowling Green's going to have enough time. They will not. And overtime number 1 in the books. 95 minutes is not enough. And the second overtime underway. The header forward. Walker. Longenecker now with it. Taylor, the touch. Mayette and Longenecker on that far side fighting for possession. Back to Taylor, the centering pass and an easy catch for Wiseman Esparza. Good thought. Execution maybe not as crisp as would have liked as the Ohio National Guard jets roar overhead. Long goal kick goes out of play. Another throw-in for the Blue Devils. Mayette tried to find Kaywood up ahead. Ball will roll out of play, and there will be another goal kick.
And that's the type of through ball you want, just too much leg behind it.
Kaywood has been the other attacking player that has been subbed in a lot. Her and Callie Garrow have been the ones that have been brought on most by Coach Mortimer up front. Chloe Mayette has been a constant stay for the most part. Also, how about Paige Kobach, who has not left the pitch yet in this match. Longenecker in the middle, fighting for possession, able to get it to Taylor. Taylor probing the middle, over to Mayette. Mayette was knocked down. Springfield fans wanted a foul called. They don't get one. A lot of collision there, just outside the box. Throw into Taylor. Tried to parry it back to Russell. And now out of play for a throw-in on the far side. Looks like we've got a substitution for Bowling Green. This is what both Erica Kimple and Steve Mortimer are paid for, is to try and find some advantage here in these overtime periods. Right now, the possession game has been ruling much of this early portion of second overtime. Callie Garrow subbing back in. Taylor will come to the sidelines. Throw-in knocked out of play again for another one. Russell's second attempt. The touch pass up ahead to Kaywood. Kaywood was dispossessed. Ahead to Moss. Moss with the footwork. The long pass up ahead. She found Kester. Kester back to Moss, and the ball is through. And just couldn't reconnect with the attacking player up front. Not the best clearance by Florek.
And that last attack, that's one of the moments that as a coach you both love and you hate. your attacking player in the middle should have stayed home in the middle, instead tried to cut back outside to get back towards the ball, and the ball actually ended up right where she was originally. So it was a really good attack, but wrong decision by the inside attacker.
Garrow with a little bit of a run on that far side. Ball was knocked out for a throw. Leah Swiller, she'll replace Kaywood. The throw knocked away. At this rate, I'm not sure that anybody's going to score. Now that I say that, we may see a goal, but it's been a lot of jockeying back and forth. Walker trying her level best to create something. Kobach, the long kick in and out of play. Kobach trying to maybe surprise Wiseman Esparza there.
And that attack was one of those in the box where once the ball got into the box, everybody kind of clustered up in one area, and that takes away Springfield's advantage to just be able to turn and shoot. When you have so many bodies clustered in traffic, it makes it really hard for the offensive team to put an attack on goal.
Mayette, middle of the field, tried to get a through ball over to Longenecker. Kobach fighting with possession. Swiller was there as well. Swiller able to knock the ball away. However, Bowling Green still in possession. Kobach up front to Mayette. Mayette walls off a defender. She and Lane Fry have battled back and forth throughout much of this second half and the first overtime and into the second one as well. We'll have another substitution. A pair of subs actually for Bowling Green. And as you said, Brandon, sometimes it's the fresh legs that may make the difference here.
And both coaches have done a really nice job at that throughout the match. Constant in, out of just about everybody on the field. There's only a handful of players that we've seen stay in for the full 90 minutes plus.
That plus becoming more of one as we go on. Mayette hopped over a defender. Tried to find Longenecker out wide. Here's Kobach. Can she settle it down? Kobach slices through. Kobach, the pass up ahead and knocked out of play. Good thought by Paige Kobach. Oh, ball stayed in play. Swiller lost possession. Walker back to Swiller. Swiller, some fancy footwork. Out to Kobach. Now Walker down this near sideline. Ball out of play. Kobach for the throw.
And the best thing that Kobach did on the initial attempt there was get the ball on the ground. At this level, it's really hard to play with the ball through the air. And Springfield has so much speed that it's an advantage for them to have the ball on the ground. So really nice job there initially.
Long ball as Dodson will let the ball roll out of play. It was Kester who tried to give chase here on the near side. Kobach with another throw-in. Found Swiller. Swiller to Longenecker. There's Walker. Walker tried to funnel it back down the near sideline, but out of play once again. Under 7 to play in this sudden death overtime period number 2. Mayette couldn't settle it down for a run at an attack. And a smart play by Longenecker to wall off a defender for the throw-in for Springfield. Mayette and Longenecker ran into each other. Ball back into the middle of the field for Walker. Walker plays it back. The pass up ahead for Hamilton. And the touch forward as the carom back to Walker. Walker to Kobach. Kobach floats one to the far side. Swiller with the touch. Back to Walker. Walker back to Dodson, who kicked it right towards Kester. Kobach fighting on that sideline, and possession back to Springfield, and Kobach wasting no time with the throw-in. And that ball out of play back to Bowling Green. Walker missed the header there. Off the hop off the turf. And there's a foul called as Macy Ash knocked Faith Hamilton to the turf.
And as we near now 105 minutes played, you mentioned two really quick throw-ins on the near sideline, for one for each team. This is where you have to be both physically and mentally tough. You're worn out in every aspect of this game right now. It's been hard physically, but also mentally, just reading the field and doing all the right things. This 10 minutes is where you really have to buckle down, not only if you want to score the game winner, but also defensively to prevent the other team from getting that opportunity.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is make a mistake out of aggression trying to go for a goal. Both coaches, I think, would say, if you have it, take it, but don't do something that's going to allow the other opposition to score that golden goal. Mayette tried to funnel it out towards the far side. And then ball knocked out of play by Russell. Taylor back in. And Steve Mortimer has done a nice job, as you said, as has Erica Kimple, of rotating fresh legs in, but where Coach Mortimer has been more aggressive has been maybe his substitutions up front. Erica Kimple has, I think, been more just trying to keep fresh legs at all positions. Not to say that he hasn't subbed for any of the defensive players, but for the most part, it's been the same back three most of the game for Springfield. Kobach missed Swiller. And a sliding tackle made by Hamilton. It feels like, and Brandon, you can speak if you don't feel this way, it feels like there's a little bit of tentativeness right now from both sides not to make a mistake when we're not seeing a lot of aggression trying to push the issue a little bit more to score that game winner.
A lot of that back and forth in the middle that we saw a lot in the first period, more so back and forth in the second with shooting opportunities. But that middle third has occupied a lot of play here in these overtimes. And as we near closer and closer to the end of the second overtime, you've got to think about the difference in Wiseman Esparza and Veronica Floric and how they've been tested throughout this match. You've mentioned multiple times Wiseman Esparza has been tested far more than Floric. So does that work to her advantage, being that she's seen so many shots tonight? Or does Floric have the advantage because she's been more rested?
Well, certainly something that'll become more of a reality as we get closer to the end of this second overtime. Just 2.5 to play in overtime period number 2. Ball out here on the near side for Adams. Ball out of play after being touched last by Bosworth. After the ball went out of play off of Longenecker, it's a Bowling Green throw-in. Kobach kind of reached around on Moss to get the ball free. Taylor gets possession, tried to find Walker. A near run thwarted there by Miller. Here's a 3-on-3 opportunity for Springfield. Ball led to the outside for Longenecker. Got to the line before it went out of play. The centering pass, the shot, blocked. And that was a long carom off the shot. Ball centered.
Second overtime period.
Perhaps a odd rush here for Bowling Green. Not to be. Ball funneled up ahead for Longenecker. 45 seconds to play. And it's out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in for Springfield. Ball just pushed up ahead. Adams over on the far sideline. Odd man rush here.
Take it away from her.
Ball up ahead. And a good job by Dodson to chase down Kester. That may be a play that saves this match as we're under 10 here in the second overtime. Bowling Green still a chance, but that will do it. Well, 80 minutes wasn't enough. Neither was 110 minutes. Penalty kicks coming up to decide this first round matchup between Springfield. And the first person, as you predicted, Brandon, is Paige Kobach. You had said during the break you thought if you were going to pick anybody to lead it off, it should be Kobach. Wiseman Esparza.
Kicking for Springfield, number 7, Paige Kobach.
Based on the way Kobach has kicked today, I would guess top left corner.
We'll see if you're a soothsayer or not. The go-ahead is given. Kobach's kick is a save. Wiseman Esparza to her left.
And one of the advantages that Wiseman Esparza will have here in PKs versus Floric is Wiseman Esparza does have a bit of a height advantage.
Sydney Moss going to be the first penalty kick for Erica Kimple. Again, the leading goal scorer on this team. Kimple, I think, saying, I want to start this off on the right foot. Can Floric match her counterpart? Or will Moss get goal number 2 of the evening? Moss's kick. Another save. Floric. That was an easy one for her. So nobody able to score on the first. That'll bring up Marissa Longenecker.
And I think really interesting decision by both players, especially Moss shooting second. Went to the same location.
Can Longenecker punch one home? Or will Wiseman Esparza win again? That one is good. Longenecker went where you thought Kobach should have gone, top left corner. And Springfield strikes first in these PKs. Can Bowling Green answer? Here comes Maddie Adams, 8 goals on the season. Also 3 assists. She's the second player on the team in points scored this year. If Floric gets the save here, obviously advantage Springfield. Can BG answer? No. Adams pushed it wide right. So a chance to take a 2-goal lead here in penalty kicks.
And if you're Bowling Green, take a look at the first 2 opportunities you've had here. You've gone to Floric's left side both times. She leaned a little bit to the left that time. Interesting to see if they will switch to the other side on the next kick.
Faith Hamilton, who drew first blood off the corner from Kobach, our third kicker. Hamilton, yes. Springfield has 2. So far, Bowling Green, none through 2.5 kickers.
And for Bowling Green, if you don't make this one here, it's out of your hands, whatever happens. So you really got to focus in and make this one.
The third kicker is Chloe Higgins. Higgins off the crossbar. No disrespect to Veronica Floric, but she's had a pretty easy situation so far. Wiseman Esparza has to make a save here. And who else would you want trying to close it out if you're Steve Mortimer? Chloe Mayette. If Mayette pushes one home, Springfield moves on next Monday. If Wiseman Esparza makes the save, BG is still alive. Mayette over the crossbar. And Bowling Green hanging around. They have to capitalize here. If they don't, it's match over. It's Macy Ash, 1 goal so far this season. She was second on the team in assists.
And you've got to really try to challenge Springfield here. Make this one and challenge Springfield to have to shoot again.
The kick, it's good. Bowling Green stays alive through 4. If Springfield hits this one, it's match over.
And I think finally that time Bowling Green, again, they did switch sides that time. Floric does have a little bit of lean to the left. She tends to hop to her left side. So good look by Bowling Green to go the other way.
Can Chloe Miller finally end the draws? Can she send Springfield to Northview to face the winner of Anthony Wayne and Whitmer on Monday night? Miller got it through, hit off the side, and caromed in. And the hero, Chloe Miller, closes it out as Springfield wins 3-1 in penalty kicks.